I don't know about you guys, but to me, for years and years, despite the fact that Samsung always had more features, Pixel phones always felt like the phone line that was constantly picking up features each and every year that actually made a difference to me. Features that actually changed the way that I use my phone. They felt smarter, they felt more intuitive. But as of late, it does feel like their focus is shifting a little bit, and by doing so, they're starting to lose me. And we're not just talking about new applications, right? So, like, everybody has voice typing, but voice typing on Pixel phones is far and away better than it is on any other phone, and they just continue to make it better and better and better. You have all of these commands that you can use. Never having to lift a finger, you can send a message, you can put in emojis, and now on the Pixel 10 devices, you can actually have AI rephrase things. Don't use that a ton. This is actually kind of emblematic of what we're going to be getting into. This stuff was all really, really cool. The emojis and the commands, clear, all, delete. We're getting into some stuff that kind of makes me feel like maybe we're losing our way a little bit. I digress. After you use something like voice typing to quickly hammer out a message, maybe you're not paying super close attention to punctuation and grammar and things like that, you have another cool Pixel feature. Right here inside Gboard, I can click one button, it's going to scan this text and it's going to fix it for me, adding punctuation and fixing things. It'll even kind of adjust grammar and things like that too. That is so very useful. After all these years, Now Playing still kind of feels like magic. You'll just be out in the world in a grocery store or something like that, and it's going to just hear a song in the world playing in the background, and it's going to identify that for you. And you can actually even just see exactly what songs it was hearing around you in case, you're like, what was that song that was playing? It's going to be there. It's going to be on your phone. Of course, call screening is another fantastic feature. Spam calls, just not a problem on Pixel devices. It's going to pick that stuff up and it's going to handle it before you even have to see it. And then fairly recently, Circle to Search has fundamentally changed the way that I use my phone. I am constantly using this to grab text, even if that text is in an image. I can quickly search it, copy it, translate it, whatever I need to do. And of course, you do have the visual search as well that will allow you to do really, really quick searches also. And honestly, I could go on. I could probably continue naming features that have been added to Pixel phones over the years that really feel like they're making the phone more useful. But lately, I find myself more often than not standing on the sidelines watching Pixel phones focus on features that might sound cool in press releases, but they end up being completely useless to me. And I think if we go back into this voice command section, we do have a good example of that. Google is basically shoving AI into every nook and cranny, finding excuses, finding places to put AI. And look, some of it can be useful. Some of it just feels like stuff that, again, I'm just never going to use. And look, guys, I am speaking specifically for myself and about myself. I'm not telling you that these features are bad. I'm just speaking editorially from my perspective about how I feel about a lot of these new features. We have an entire section in the settings for Magic Queue. Magic Queue uses AI to proactively show useful details and time-saving actions relevant to what's on your phone. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the Pixel 10 Pro Fold for over a month now, and my entire experience with Magic Queue can be summed up very, very briefly. I was texting with my mom, making plans to go bowling, and we were trying to figure out what day, what time. A little chip popped up that I could tap. It took me to my calendar and added it to my calendar. That is it. That is the sole lone time Magic Queue has done anything. And look, part of that is because I don't think I'm the right person for Magic Queue. It's looking for specific things that it could help me with, but I'm not doing any of those things. If you look at how they demoed Magic Queue, they're talking about it pulling your flight number and time out of your email. It's talking about obviously organizing plans and things like that. I'm just kind of boring. It's mostly just me and my wife. I'm not really doing enough for Magic Queue to really have anything to work with. No one is texting me asking me for photos of my dogs that it could magically recognize and suggest a photo of my dog. It's just not a thing. Pixel Journal is another good example of this. I actually just cleared out storage so that you could see this splash screen. Write about your day, spark creativity, add photos, places, activities, get customized writing inspiration, and track how you're feeling. That's where the AI stuff comes into play here. It's a smart journaling application that's going to be using the data that your phone has about you to sort of assist you with journaling. But here's the thing, you can get reminders and so forth and so on. I just don't have a need for a smart journaling app. I use Google Keep literally every single day. I use Google Tasks every single day. And the reason primarily is because I'm just quickly jotting down ideas and notes about content and things like that. And then that is accessible to me on all my other devices and in the web browser. I can go to my computer, so I can quickly go into Google Tasks and write down a video idea. And then when I go to my computer, it's there. If Pixel Journal synced to my computer and I could see that stuff there, maybe I could find some deeper use for it. But for now, Google Keep just kind of does a better job of doing this for me. I don't need AI inside my note-taking app. If I wanted to use AI while I'm doing something like this, guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and split screen with Gemini, and I'm just going to do that. I don't really need it built in. I just need a note-taking app. This just, again, doesn't feel like it's meant for me. And then we have stuff like these theme packs, right? Like, okay, that's cool, I guess, that we're going to have these branded theme packs and things like that we can grab and install on the device. But again, and by the way, I do need to give them a bit more credit for this because apparently it's not just the wallpaper and the colors. Apparently the sounds change and there's some other things that happen with the theme pack. But for me, you know me, look at this wallpaper. I made this wallpaper using Gemini, actually. It was a photo that I took, and I gave it to Gemini, and I asked it to stylize it. I love making my own wallpapers and making my own themes. I don't really want a theme pack, and if I did, I mean, maybe there's a cool theme pack out there for me, but it's definitely not one that's branded with some movie that I'm never going to watch. This just feels like another swing and a miss when it comes to me. And look, it's not just that these features use AI. That's not the problem at all. I use Gemini all the time to organize my thoughts or to research things, to generate tables and things like that to help me kind of organize different data sets and so forth. That's not the problem. It's just that these features just feel like they're targeting a different customer. And I think that maybe the best example of this, and I think I showed you some B-roll of this earlier on in the video, is the camera assist thing, the little coaching thing that it does, where you're in the camera app and you hit a button and it's going to try and analyze what it's seeing through the camera, and it's going to try to help you frame it. You know, okay, aim a little high, over to your left, try to center things. If Google has ever made a feature that I have found to be completely, totally, utterly pointless and useless, it has to be this one. This is at the very tippy top of what I am talking about. This focus on shoving AI into this phone to create features that just do absolutely nothing for me. And then we have the things that Pixel devices just kind of ignore, right? Things that would be better for power users like myself, things that we've been expecting for a really, really long time. Obviously, you can split screen with two apps, but that's really it, guys. You can't do a third app. You can't do a floating window. I appreciate that they're working on a proper desktop mode for when this thing is plugged into an external screen, but we're still lacking like fundamental years old features. It feels like Google is saying like, yeah, you can split screen and that's fine, it works well, whatever, but we're not really focused on that. That's not really like our target customer. Now, one place where they've been injecting AI that I actually really like is inside Google Photos. Magic Editor in particular helped me edit, the ability to just tell my phone what I want to have happen, and it just does it for me, is really, really cool. There is a wilted bud in the background of this photo. Could you turn it into another flower? This is like, I think, a fairly intense test of this. Again, I'm just using my words. I haven't highlighted anything. Let's see if it's able to figure out what I mean and do what I'm asking. I kind of doubt that it's going to be able to do this, to be honest with you. It kind of did though, right? So it understood what that was, and it is putting some more petals on that. Maybe not the perfect example of this, but still kind of cool. And of course, you can do way more than this. I've shown you guys like trips to the zoo, getting rid of the fence by just literally saying, remove the fence. And now you're going to be able to tell it, hey, open this person's eyes, and it's going to know who they are based on the context of your other photos you've taken of them that are labeled, and it's going to replace their eyes correctly, on and on and on. Really, really impressive stuff. But there's one thing that kind of bugs me, okay? If I go into this tool here, the auto frame option, and I tap it again, it's going to give me several different framing options. And one of them is usually zooming the photo out, what is called out painting. And there you go. That is an out painted photo. So it's added stuff to the outside. But why can I not do this in a more manual way? I'll give you a really good example. I'm going to go into AI Edit on my Honor Magic V5, and there is an option for AI outpainting. And what I love about this is I can tell it how much outpainting to do. I can actually go into free and I can outpaint in one direction more than the other. And I can just kind of dial that in and do exactly what I want to do. Why is it on the Pixel device that it's like a very hand-holdy guided experience? That's a lot of what Google seems like they're doing more and more of these days. They're sort of taking the control away from you and saying, this is what we're giving you, this is what we can do, and this is what you're going to get. And look, a lot of it is very, very good, but it's just not how I would want it. I would want that more granular control. I have so many phones that are able to do this. I can long press on an object that is in the photo itself, and it's going to pop something out from that photo that I can then share and send, turn into a sticker, and it has a transparent background. That is super useful for me in terms of making thumbnails. You can't do that on a Pixel phone. And look, let's be real, guys. Google is absolutely more than capable of doing any and all of these things. They just aren't doing them. It's just not a priority to them. I think the way that I would describe it is like this. Google seems to be shifting their focus from cool techie phone with really neat new features to like lifestyle sorts of things, right? You remember earlier this year when I told you guys that I had been jettisoned from the Team Pixel program? They don't send me review units anymore. Well, I think that's kind of part of this as well. Team Pixel is for super fans and for like influencers, lifestyle influencers. Like that seems like that's more who they're sending their phones to now. It's all about this change of perception that Google is trying to usher in around their phones. They're kind of leaving the techie people like me behind a little bit and trying to capture a different segment of people. If you guys remember, in the lead up to the launch of the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, when we kind of saw that the hardware was staying basically exactly the same, I told you guys the software is going to have to kind of carry the day for me. There's going to have to be a handful of really impressive software features that make me go, wow, I absolutely need to try that. Well, the device has been out for a month now, and there's like one feature, and it's helped me at it that I think is really cool, and that feature's on every phone, so really there's kind of nothing. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a fantastic phone, and I still enjoy using it, but a lot of it's because of the features they introduced in prior years. The features they introduced for this year that I enjoy are things like Pixel Snap. It's things like the larger battery. They have improved the 2x and 3x and 4x zoom on this device as well. It's things like that. But the days of new Pixel phones meaning, wow, really cool, crazy new software feature, that just wasn't a thing this year. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I just can't help but shake this feeling that maybe, just maybe, their target audience is shifting to try and pull in an audience that have different sensibilities, maybe a fruitier disposition. And of course, Pixel Snap, with all jokes aside, is one of my favorite things about this device, so I can't really complain about that one. Guys, I kind of want to know what you think about this, though. Am I the only one that feels like the software features are indeed shifting into that lifestyle category and leaving nerds like myself, maybe nerds like you? Nerd is not a pejorative. It's fine. You can be a nerd. I am fine with being a nerd, and you should be too. Do you feel like Google is leaving the nerdiness behind, and are you feeling maybe the allure of a slightly nerdier phone like the Z Fold 7 or like some of these Chinese OEMs that have sort of more power user features? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe for more content just like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.